How's it going, everybody? It's been a little while since I've made a video, so let's get into 9.1 and figure it out together. Whether you're a returning Feral Druid or a new Feral Druid starting in 9.1, there's been a couple changes that I wanted to go over, just to make sure you're up to speed and ready to go. So as of 9.1, the first fix that you'll see for Ferals has fixed an issue that allowed Skull Bash to interrupt targets that were under the Intervene effect. So you're not going to really notice this unless you're playing Battlegrounds or Arenas or something like that. I guess you could potentially see it in some sort of PvE scenario, but not something you're going to notice too much. Then you have fixed an issue that was causing Apex Predator, the rune carving power, to refund the wrong amount of energy when Ferocious Bite was cast while Soul of the Forest was selected. Another thing that you're probably not going to see unless you're spec'd into those things, none of this stuff I noticed in the entirety of 9.0 or 9.05 or wherever they were having these issues, so you probably won't notice either. As far as Druids go in general, you'll see Well-Honed Instincts, the Conduit, cooldown has been increased by 50% at all ranks. Fixed an issue that prevented Adaptive Swarm Necrolord ability from spreading if the Druid dies while the ability is still active. Fixed an issue that allowed Adaptive Swarm to incorrectly affect Regrowth's initial heal. And then fixed an issue that allowed Starfall and Convoke the Spirits target creatures under the Turn Evil crowd control effect. As far as the bottom one goes, I didn't notice that being an issue at all using Convoke. The other two are Necro specific. Since I don't play Necrolord, it doesn't really make a difference to me. Now, the Well-Honed Instincts Conduit change is kind of big, so they increase the cooldown of it by 50%. You'll see the Well-Honed Instincts Conduit, what it does, when you fall below 40% health, you cast Frenzied Regeneration up to once every 104 seconds. So if you are using this one, you're going to notice it doesn't proc quite as often as it used to because it can't, but overall it's still a very strong conduit, still one you probably want to be running in almost all scenarios. Those are kind of the base changes for Feral Druids and Druids in general. There were more PvP specific changes, so now we're going to go into those. Most important one here, you'll see Frenzied Regeneration healing is reduced by 15% in PvP combat, so that's a pretty decently sized nerf to our self-healing. So that plus the conduit that we just went over, going to make it so you can't heal quite as much as you used to be able to. Overall, it's still really strong though. I haven't noticed a crazy difference in actual use. Now to the big ones. There's a new PvP talent called Wicked Claws. So what it does is essentially it's a Mortal Strike type talent. So if you've been seeing people say Ferals have MS, that's what they're talking about. Infected Wounds can now stack up to 2 times and reduces 12% of all healing received by the target per stack. Infected Wounds can now also be applied from Rip. So here you see Infected Wounds. Rake causes an infected wound in the target, reducing the target's movement speed by 20%. So now, on top of the movement speed reduction, with Wicked Claws set up in your PvP talents, you can get up to 20% healing reduction and 20% movement speed reduction at the same time. That's a pretty massive change for Feral, one that people have been asking for a long time, and it's something you're probably going to want to be using really often. Ferocious Wound, the PvP talent, now stacks up to 2 times, a reduction from 3, so a small nerf there. Infected Wounds now last for 12 seconds in PvP combat, was 8 seconds. Pretty good sized buff. Leader of the Pack PvP talent can now proc from critical strikes with spells, and it can now only occur every 8 seconds, was 6 seconds. So this is going to refer to the small heal if you're running Leader of the Pack. Now you see this listed here again. It shows Wicked Claws reduces the healing received by 10% per stack, was 12.5%, but 10% is the one that's actually running in game. This graphic's just kind of weird and messed up. Savage Momentum PvP talent now reduces the cooldown of dash by 10 seconds. It used to affect Stampeding Roar, so pretty cool. Freedom of the Herd PvP talent now also reduces the cooldown of Stampeding Roar by 1 minute in addition to its current effect. You have a change of King of the Jungle, now stacks up to 4 times, and movement speed increase can stack with other movement speed increasing effects. More mobility type stuff there for you. Now the Rip and Tear PvP talent has been removed, and Regrowth healing overall in PvP has been reduced by 15%. So with the changes to Regrowth, Frenzied Regeneration, and the Conduit, they really attacked Feral Druid's self-healing. Totally understandable. We could do ridiculous amounts of healing, and even with these changes in the game, I've noticed you still can, so it's not too awful. There you have it, guys. There are the Feral Druid changes for 9.1. I'll be working on a couple other videos while I continue to figure out what's going on with Feral Druid and what type of things really matter. Having just come back to 9.1 myself, I thought a lot of this was really good information, and a lot of these changes are really good too. So I'm still looking forward to having a ton of fun with Feral, and I hope you are too. Hope this helped you guys out. If it did, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Let me know what other type of videos you guys would like to see, and thanks for watching.